Hello, it's Shane again. So we're going to be playing some Diablo 4, Season 7, and listening to Alex Jones, the Big Balls episode. Alright, let's get into it.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next. Visit Infowars.com/show and support the InfoWars.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday, February 7th, 2025. And Elon Musk has launched Operation Big Balls.
InfoWars. Tomorrow's news today.
We are 17 days, 23 hours, 44 seconds into the new presidency of President Trump. And now it has come out that they've been leaking and doxing in the corporate media different members of Elon Musk's Doge team, and one of them has the nickname Big Balls. And they're all over the corporate media reporting it all very, very seriously. This is some of the greatest unintentional comedy ever. Here's a clip.
This is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online, so that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside Doge, and we looked into his background, and so we found several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.Sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains.
Wow, sexy Tesla. Drag queen story time is big to pedophiles, little kids is okay. And, little kids giving male strippers money, 3-year-olds, that's okay. But if you call yourself Sexy Tesla, that is unfortunate. And this person registered some domain names years ago. Whoa, man. You talk about dirty, 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 dirty people. This is just incredible. No one elected Big Balls. Personally, I voted for Big Balls. Elon Musk says. Oh, the best part about this is it's so much fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one hell of a transmission lined up for you here today. Huge guest the second hour. Trump just continues to accelerate his rampage successfully against the deep state. They're just turning the heat up with their lies and absurdity. But also something I've talked a lot about, and I never quantified it as a tactic, but I guess it's got a name. I just see things for what they are and describe it. It's really important. I'll play in the next segment. This is a short little segment, obviously. Here, radio affiliates don't carry the first 5, but I with the giant internet, TV audience, all the great folks out there. But it's where you expose Democrat corruption, and on all these poll numbers, issue poll numbers, it's 80, 90% of people, hell, some of them 97%, and the Democrats are forced to come defend fraud, theft, scams, censorship, deception, audits of bloated government. 50 million for condoms in Gaza, which none of that's going there. The money's being stolen. That's the old trick of $800 toilet seats, $1,000 hammers back in the 80s. They weren't buying toilet seats and hammers, folks. They were stealing the money or putting it in black budget stuff. Same thing. So this is Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues and getting on the 80, and everybody who is reflexively against him gets on the 20. Now the Democratic Party has a 31% approval rating. This is why, and that's in corporate polls. So I'll explain that coming up. But this is really an incredible time to be alive. But I'm telling you, they're going to launch cyber attacks on these different agencies that Elon's Doge is really exposing right now, and blame him. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Stay with us. When the deep state's tired of being alive, we're going to bury it. It is Friday, February 7th, 2025. And I am your battle-hardened host, coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, broadcasting worldwide, powered by the people, powered by you. You have all the power. You decide whether this flamethrower of truth reaches 50 million or 500 million people today. It's in your hands. Use the power now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it right now. We knew this was going to happen because it's a formula, it's an operation, it's a plan. And you go look at the area, and when they burned down Maui 2 years ago, I said, the expert guess, California's next. And we simply looked at the most expensive real estate there and said, they're going to burn down Palisades. We played that clip. And then one day into the fires, a month ago, I said, look, it's a 15-minute city slated by the UN. They did everything they could to make sure that the conditions were there. You know, they then set the fires, had the fire department stand down, drained the reservoir a month before, sabotaged all the safety testing, cut the firefighting funding, on and on and on. Left the power lines on when they knew the brush would fall that they left uncut for decades, onto the power lines. And I told you Newsom will declare an emergency and override all the state laws, so he and his commission he would form could come in and take everybody's property. And he came out last night on national television and said, nobody can rebuild their home. We're going to build environmental smart city high-rises. He said it's not safe to rebuild there. What you want to build on your property, maybe you want to sell it. Maybe somebody wants to build condos. Maybe you don't. There are a lot of little estates and things there. Family hands. No. He's hired one company and one administrator that is going to decide what's built. And they'll get all the aid money and the tax money and the investment money, and then they'll own and control the rents and what they put in. Well, it's not safe for individuals to do what they want with their property, but high-rises with more people is going to be safe. So they do everything to turn off the fire mitigation. They do this, and then everything I said to the letter happened because it's a formula. And then he says it's climate change. Yeah, the climate's having you criminals cut off the standard fire mitigation procedures. You remember I said the first week of it, I said they were going to let it all be destroyed. They're going to come in and grab all the land, and all the people have their private property. And Jen Psaki attacked me on MSNBC. Elon Musk agreed with me. She said, look at Elon Musk agreeing with Alex Jones. It's a fact. They pulled the insurance 2 months before. The insurance companies. Because Gavin Newsom wouldn't let them raise the rates. Total precision. They've looted and robbed California with dizzying precision. Not with incompetence. Oh, they put bozos down at the ground level so they wouldn't know what was going on. But I know what's going on. And you know what's going on. And Gavin Newsom is a criminal. He's committed so many crimes, makes my head spin. California's so arrogant. Last year they signed a law that you can have sex with 12-year-olds. As long as it's not vaginal. Seriously. because they don't want babies to be born. It's rape if a little girl gets raped, but not little boys, or if a little girl gets raped anally. That's law. Look it up. I think I'm joking. And boy, the senator that got that passed, well, that's on his laptop. Creepazoid. So, Trump and the DOJ need to go in there and indict these people up and down the state. I'm getting to that more later. So it's official. Newsom says you can't rebuild. It's up on Infowars.com, the video, all of it. As of Newsom, the victims, California, quote, you can't rebuild the same. Had to rebuild with climate reality in mind. And he says, we're going to take your land, pay you what we think it's worth, and build high rises. Just like Nero burned down part of Rome to expand his palace, gladiatorial areas. History repeats. All right, that's coming up. Obviously, the Doge developments I'm going to hit first. Massive, incredible. The deep state, frantically lying. They try to block Musk. He checkmates them instantly. They've already thought 50 moves ahead. This is just awesome. And then they're wringing their hands. Oh, my God, he's going to steal your Social Security data. He's giving it to everybody. Hackers are going to get it. The Chinese are going to get it. Under the Democrats, the entire Social Security database has been stolen. The entire database of federal employees has been stolen. Always under Democrats' watch because they're opening the door up. Over and over again, the Federal Reserve just got hacked. Last month, right before Trump got in. But that's just a little bloop, 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 in the news. But everywhere, it's, oh my God, Elon Musk is going to get everybody's data stolen. He's stealing it. There's some guy named Big Balls in there. There's another guy named Sexy Tesla. And they're literally on the news. These are dirty names. What the hell? So, that's crazy. Roger Bear, who could be literally extradited today. The order went out a few days ago. He thinks they're coming in the next few hours, so we hope before he gets thrown in chains and flown back here to the United States with a Obama-Biden era indictment that just happened recently. Bitcoin Jesus, founder of Bitcoin.com. Totally innocent, did absolutely nothing wrong, followed all the tax laws, but he was a big backer of Trump and patriots. So he's joining us from Spain. They could literally raid him. Says they'll come arrest him. He's on house arrest any minute. So that's next hour. And obviously Trump needs to have that investigation, that indictment killed. It's total fraud. So that's coming up. All right. Let's talk Turkey here. We also have something I want to hit first. And that's one angle of what Trump's doing. And Trump's doing this because he believes it. It's the American system, and he's for rising tide raises all ships, a very expansionary worldview, laissez-faire, renaissance, not a kleptocrat, not somebody that wants to make people poor, consolidate wealth for control and social engineering. But it's also good politically to do what's populist and popular. Hence the word populist. And to go right down the line on polls, on issues of 80, 90, 95, 97%, depending on the issue, of Americans wanting to cut waste, fraud, and abuse, not wanting to pay $50 million of condoms, which, they didn't buy one condom. It's a scam for Gaza, things like that, shrimp on treadmills. And then the Democrats run out on each issue, and they defend human trafficking, fentanyl, open borders, World War III. It's beautiful. Yeah, look at that headline. Trump nukes all government MSM contracts after Politico firestorm will axe 97% of U.S. AIG staff. as a giant government money laundering bribery operation. And by the way, only 1% of the different areas has been audited so far. That's about a little over 1%. Musk is now releasing the findings. Over 100 billion stolen. Tens of billions going into black holes in bank accounts that don't even have contracts. And I've got the clips and the news and the documents on that. 6 billion went to Biden into his companies, and they don't know where it went. Now listen to me. Now, this is sensational. That's with 1% scam. Now you know why they're so scared. That 1% of fraud touches the NGOs, the bureaucrats, almost all the Democrat leadership, some of the Republican leadership. And the corporate media is trying to spin it. Oh, Trump's big claim. Billions of dollars stolen at USAID for payments to fake news media. Look, a lot of that stuff was already public for years, but it's in the documents. 300 million to Reuters to attack Elon Musk. Billions to the corporate media to attack Trump and run the fake impeachment propaganda. Hundreds of millions to Politico, New York Times. It's all public. But see, how do you spin that? Oh, Trump claims, big claim. Oh, big claim. It's all right there. And then you got foreign governments interfering and coming and paying the media with specific contracts that are coming out about what they wanted. And the Pentagon paying Reuters to, quote, deceive with psychological social engineering projects for deception of the American people. It says deception. I showed you that the last few days. And you can find it on my X account with the documents, all of it. And those reports got over 100 million views. So, oh, Trump claims and Politico's getting money. It's not even debated. And the corporate media, most of them were on the payroll. Now it's all being cut off, and so they can't even make payroll. And they admit, well, we can't make payroll, but it's not because the government money got cut off. Trump repeats right-wing claim that USAID subscriptions to Politico were payoffs. So see, they don't deny that there were payments. They just say he claims it's a payoff. We showed the documents. $117,000.24 for one subscription. $200 and something thousand for the other. I mean, they don't want it in the tax returns. They don't want it in the news. They don't want it tracked back, so they go in to the subscription system, and instead of paying $5 a month, they're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, item after item after item. That's money laundering. Open and shut. You're indicted. You get a quick trial. You go to prison. But notice, Trump claims the payments they're not denying. So see, you see the different tactics. One corporate media is, Trump claims these payments are made. Smarter ones like The Guardian go, okay, payments were made, but they're not fraud. And then they make the debate about, did they not make the payroll because the government money got cut off? So you got layers of different tactics of lies. And you don't have to believe me, you go to Real Alex Jones on X, go to Elon Musk on X, and it's links to the government. And you know why they came in last Saturday and cut off the internet and took over all the websites, and 5 days before that, on that Monday last week, they ordered all federal employees to stop posting who are in PR and stuff on the websites, and then magically all this stuff that Elon's finding and Doge is finding is now published. Here's the documents. And then a federal judge super globalist one, she goes in and blocks with an emergency order, it'll get overturned, Elon Musk getting into your Social Security. He's not getting into your Social Security. That's in there. They're going into the giant payments. And they're going in to the federal employees who have a right to be reviewed to see how many other jobs they've got with that Social Security number. But what's hilarious is, in the order, it says Elon Musk. Trump already had a Treasury Department official over it when the other one wouldn't do their job and resigned, and they fired a bunch of others. And so the order doesn't even mean anything, and it's just ongoing. They say the lie that it's not an agency, Congress didn't approve it, they just renamed another agency that's over computer records and efficiency. That's his job. And then they say, oh, Elon's doing illegal things, so the judge does an order saying you can't do illegal things, but he's not doing illegal things. So it's just lie upon lie, stacked on lies, and none of it's even real. It's just the final illusion that they're in charge. Let's play. They have some power to block this. Let's play the clip on the 80-20 issue. Here it is.
He's describing what is currently the dumbest strategy in politics, which is Democrats taking the 20% side of every 80-20 issue in America. USAID, people want this pared down. They want it streamlined. They want to know where the money is going. Democrats have a meltdown. Today, Donald Trump signs executive order on keeping boys out of girls' sports. Democrats take the 20 side of that issue as well. All these issues, this is like Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues, getting on the 80, and everybody who's sort of reflexively against him gets on the 20. And now the Democratic Party has like a 31% approval rating. This is why.
I don't...
The Democrats have invincible ignorance and arrogance. And so they are just extincting themselves. And I don't just say that. I mean, their party's dead. They'll never recover. They will be kicked out everywhere. A new party will form, probably split in the Republican Party. Their election fraud's being exposed. It's over. Wow, is all I can say on that. Okay, so let me start getting into the Doge. And all this is interconnected, so I'm not going to the top thing first. It's too hard for me when I'm looking at all this thing. Well, what do I want to hit first? It's all interconnected. Breaking, Musk says his Doge team uncovered $100 billion in Medicare and Medicaid waste after gaining access to the system. U.S. aid is less than 1% of the federal budget. Look at how much fraud and waste has been found in this one tiny piece of the budget. Now imagine how bad the rest of it is. And then Musk wants Social Security numbers, bank accounts, judge bars from Treasury payments. So he's going to crash the Social Security day. He's going to take your Social Security. Remember they said last week, oh, Trump cutting U.S. aid, you're not going to get your Social Security check or Medicare or Medicaid. Knowing the average American thinks U.S. aid has to do with AIDS. That's just an acronym for something else. It has nothing to do with it. Notice you didn't get your Social Security check stopped. So now they've gone, well, people caught on to that. So let's just say he wants your numbers, and he's going to get everybody hacked. Treasury installs ally of Musk, Doge, as head of payment system. So Musk was not even personally in charge. He was in there with the Treasury people, but they spin it like a judge removed him, but he personally wasn't in charge of it. He was just overseeing the general department, and then under the law brought in the people from the other departments that are over certain areas. And they have read-only, I mean, they can't change anything. When they find a hole or a back door, then they give it to the proper agency on that. They got task forces in there. Doge brings in all the key people from the agencies. The lawyers follow the Constitution. If they need a new executive order, Trump signs it, and they are on target, just like you see with SpaceX. that's done more in aviation in 10 years than everything before combined. I mean, that's what all the mainline aviation experts say. I mean, but you can see a giant robot arm grabbing a 33-story giant rocket that comes hurtling back out of space 1 year after he decided, I want a giant robot arm. Because he's got the experts and he knows how to direct people. And he understands you either get stuff done quick or you don't get it done. So again, you just heard he's been removed. But he wasn't removed. It was all kabuki theater. The judge could put out an order saying Elon Musk isn't allowed to stand on his head. But if Elon Musk isn't standing on his head, what does it even matter? See, it's fake victories, fake flexing. The Treasury Department will make an ally of billionaire Elon Musk U.S. Doge Service the head of the department that oversees the nation's powerful payment systems after ousting the career civil servant who previously held the post. Treasury Secretary says Doge not tinkering with the systems, which we already knew. But they have to all come out and tell everybody that. Got that video. Here's another one. U.S. Treasury Secretary said he personally vetted the Treasury employees on Elon Musk government efficiency. Did you hear what we just said? Personally vetted the Treasury employees on Musk government efficiency team. He goes into these agencies, goes into the Treasury, tells the head guy, okay, you already got AI hooked in there. You've been using it to spy on baristas, literally, and that's their main targets, people that are big Vimeo tips. Trump's about to end all that. He goes, all right, boy, Michael Bloomberg is so upset that it came out that his gun control group are the ones behind the onion and the lawsuits and all of it, trying to shut down InfoWars. And remember back in November, they said they owned it, tried to kick us out of the building. The judge overrode it. It wasn't true. It was a hoax. But a lot of people still think they own InfoWars or InfoWarsStore.com. And so it's really hurt sales well over 70%. So if we don't get funds in at InfoWars Store, we will shut down. Now, even if they're successful, and we're beating them right now, it'll take a month and a half or so for that to happen. So right now, in February, you are able to get all these products delivered to you very, very quickly. All the fan favorites, all the classics, X2, Vitamin Mineral Fusion, Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula. It's all there, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Brain Force Ultra, an incredible fast-acting nootropic with no letdown. Vasobeat, so good for your heart, your whole cardiovascular system. It's all available right now at InfoWarsStore.com, not owned by Bloomberg or The Onion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 33 minutes into this live Friday transmission, February 7th, 2025. And we are a little over 2 weeks into the incredible, dynamic, unbelievably successful return of President Trump. All right, so let me keep going through the breaking Doge news and the ongoing audit of these criminal, rogue, CIA-run deep state operations. 100 billion here, hundreds of billions there. Just mass crime, mass theft, total insanity. And then you've got the corporate media spun up on high saying that Musk has got a bunch of 12-year-olds in there running all this. And then they go through and the CIA leaks the youngest people. This guy's 19, this guy's 20. And then they don't point out that it's high-level Treasury Department officials and others. And the senators, people that have been down there to see, say, actually, most people are pretty old. But you've always got young brains in there to help and get stuff done. Because they're competent, they've been proven. These are people that have worked for us for a long time. And he has an executive order, and they've had their security clearances, and they're in there. And they're just exposing the grants and the money and the stolen garbage. And then you have the Treasury Secretary on TV. Now, we'll play the clip in a minute. Get that ready. Saying, no, I mean, these are respected Treasury Department officials in charge of this. So it's another hoax that this is going on. And look, I know this audience knows that, but, and most people get it now. It's just so crazy. A Doge follows longtime Musk pattern and turns attention to Social Security Administration. And they already looked into Medicare and Medicaid and found over $100 billion. You ask how they did it. There's been AI for at least 10 years. It's way more advanced than they've told you. The Sentinel system and others. That everything you do the purchases you make, all of it, the tips you make, what you get paid, it's all run through the bank accounts digitally, unless it's cash. And they even track how much cash you're getting, and then they're able to track if there's any type of warranties or anything you do buying with cash, who did it. It all goes in there, but 98% of it's trackable. And then they go and audit, because they already know with the 89,000 IRS agents Biden brought in last year for blue collar and working people. And Trump says he's getting rid of all that. Total harassment of the public using AI. So he goes in with his AI experts and just runs the programs to track who's getting the most money, how they're operating, what they're doing, how many jobs they've got. And you can then just see the crimes in live time. So that's why they're so scared. And I told you Saturday in the emergency show, I said, I guarantee you Elon's using the government AI systems to, instead of harassing a waitress or waiter who, didn't pay $3,000 in taxes and tips, to now turn that towards Nancy Pelosi and Chucky Schumer and all the hundreds of millions they're stealing out of this every year. So, and of course, here it is now in the Washington Post. Elon Musk Doge is feeding sensitive federal data into AI to target cuts. Well, they're already running all that through it. Now he's just repurposing it. And it goes on. Report, Biden paid $5 billion to unnamed foreign sources, and no one knows where it went. Whoever's getting our money is so shady our government can't even put it in writing. They also just call it, hey, you got the report on that coming up. You got all the different kingpins at USAID that give the money literally themselves freaking out. Leftist meltdown over global money laundering slush fund being discovered. USAID has $50 billion a year money laundering piggy bank that until Trump re-election was accountable to no one. We'll get to that. Judge pauses federal employee buyout over pending court hearing. And it's unconstitutional. This will be overturned. The unions don't want now the 60,000 as of last night. Now it's more, I'm sure. They said, okay, we want our buyout because they know they've committed a bunch of crimes. They're going to get fired anyways. So they might as well get the buyout. So then they don't have any recourse if they don't accept the buyout. Trump can still fire them. And the unions want them to stay there in the job they don't even go to in most cases to get their dues. And there's another great clip of Elon explaining how you can just throw a dart anywhere in the federal government and it hits fraud because it's all a giant scam. So let's play the clip of the Treasury Secretary explaining the facts. Then I want to play the clip of Elon explaining you swing a stick in the dark and you're going to hit a big pile of theft and criminal activity. Folks, the government is spending tens of trillions a year and you're not getting anything. They're stealing it. And they have a philosophy that once they bankrupt everything, they then burn it all down and then come in as the saviors with a new monetary system on top of it after they've already transferred all the real property and assets to themselves. Remember in Goodfellas where the mob likes going to this bar, restaurant, and the owner says, hey, he's having some trouble with the bills. He'd like them to come in as partners. They go, oh, sure, we'll be your partner. And then over the next few years, they bring in all the food, all the liquor, never pay any of the bills, and then have the guy declare bankruptcy, or no, burn the building down to get the insurance and then have to declare bankruptcy. I mean, that scale of what they say a classic mafia tactic is what the globalist system is. It's what Newsom just did out in California. And I told you, he's going to come and say, I'm taking all your land. I'll pay you what I think. You can't rebuild what you want. We're building high-rises with one company. I've already given them the contract. Because he's using emergency powers. Trump needs to trump that with his emergency powers. I mean, you want to see a popularity rating go up in tight Kevin Newsom last year. All right, here's the Treasury Secretary explaining how things work.
There is widespread concern about the Doge team's access to sensitive payment systems. Are you worried at all that that access and that tinkering of the payment systems could affect the Treasuries market or cause any disruption?
Good. Well, Saleha, thank you for asking me about that because there's a lot of misinformation out there. First of all, when you say the Doge team, these are Treasury employees. It is 2 Treasury employees, one of whom I personally interviewed in his final round. There is no tinkering with the system. They are on read-only. They are looking, they can make no changes. It is an operational program to suggest improvement. So we make 1.3 billion payments a year. And this is 2 employees who are working with a group of long-standing employees.
Elon Musk just half an hour ago tweeted out that Treasury needs to stop approving certain payments. Has your staff tried to block any payments here at Treasury?
We have not, and I'm glad you asked that too. And just to put in perspective, Elon and I are completely aligned in terms of cutting waste and increasing accountability and transparency for the American people. I believe that this Doge program in my adult life is one of the most important audits of government or changes to government structure we have seen. That when I was in my 20s, we had the Grace Report, and there's some great suggestions that came out of that, never implemented. Under Clinton and Gore, I think it was to government efficiency or reduce government. Nothing happened. So President Trump came in, there's a big agenda, and I think that there are gigantic cost savings for the American people here. And I think it's unfortunate the way the media wants to lampoon what is going on. These are highly trained professionals. This is not some roving band going around doing things. This is methodical, and it is going to yield big savings.
Elon Musk is known for innovation, accelerated maverick success, and he's in there quarterbacking and field marshaling and like a conductor. And then he gives the report to Trump, and he goes in there with the agency head, and he says, yeah, 97% of the funding just goes and is stolen. Here's the report. Here's all the facts. And billions and billions is going out of USAID alone to corporate media. And here's the contracts and what it was for. It was for impeaching you and lying about you and blah, blah, blah. And they just give them all the documents. Says it right there. Here's a Pentagon document to deceive the American people. Says deceive them, information operations. And Trump just goes, oh, no, I'll just sign an order banning that. Bloop, 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 bloop. That's the president. Not Elon Musk. Elon Musk brings the report with the facts. He publishes to the world. Nobody's private info, nobody's Social Security info. The big corruption, the big numbers. And that's another thing they can do. They'll do a hack and say, oh, Musk let people in and give out a bunch of people's Social Security numbers. I'm telling you, that's what's coming. Trump nukes all government MSM contracts under Politico firestorm, and that's CIA through USAID. Will axe 97% of USAID staff. Yeah, look at the government accountability office building. These guys are supposed to do what Doge does. They currently employ 3,275 people. They do nothing. Doge employs around 20. Look at it, it's empty. You go in there, there'll be a janitor and a secretary and a Social Security guards. Seriously, I mean, you ever gone around federal buildings, been to D.C., like on a Wednesday at 11 a.m., go walk into the lobby and then go look through the windows and there's nobody there. Just go stand in the atrium and the security guards will tell you, you don't have a reason to be here. Get away. Just say, no, I'm a citizen. Just want to see what's going on there. Call your supervisor if you don't like it. I've done this. And you just stand there and maybe every 15 minutes somebody walks by. The elevators aren't opening and closing. You're just... What's going on here? Meanwhile, you go to a private company or a successful operation or this media thing, it's like an anthill, people running around like we're in a war, because we are. So I'll get into more of that. Here's Elon explaining that you can't swing a stick in the dark and not hit corruption and theft when you're in the federal government investigating. I mean, it's beyond target rich. It's basically all fraud. And then you wonder why there's no money for your Social Security, and then the people that have been wasting and destroying everything and debasing the industrial system and tax base and cultural base and turning us into a giant third world sewer tell you that Elon and Trump are the reason you're not going to get your Social Security, where on every metric and every study and every index and every ratings agency, the U.S. has been downgraded and is basically in collapse now if we don't have massive cuts to crap, massive innovation investment, and massive expansion. And I got some good news on that. They're doing the best they can to try to crash the economy, but there's so much exuberance that just small-time investors and others are blasting through these put options that BlackRock and others put in to try to tank the stock market. They still got a lot of power, though, so I'm not saying we're out of the woods yet, but they're trying to crash it right now. Like, why would they crash their own thing? Because they'll buy it up cheaper, and it'll go up higher than ever. They engineered the 29 stock market crash on record. Same crew. Same, the great-grandparents. Let's go to Elon. Here it is.
Asked, like, where would you start with government efficiency? It's kind of like being in a room where the entire room is targets. And so you can shoot in any direction and not miss. Now, we do have a fundamental issue, which is that the government is spending far more than it brings in. And the reality is that all government spending is actually taxation. All government spending is taxation. Sometimes people think some of it is taxation and some of it's not, but it's all taxation because the part that is not covered by tax revenue becomes inflation. So you're either taxed directly or you're taxed by inflation, but you're for sure taxed. And so all government spending is taxation. So we have to reduce government spending overall. This will be forced upon us in the future. The interest payments now exceed the Defense Department budget, which is $1 trillion a year. That's a lot of money. So just the interest on the debt exceeds what we spend on the military. Just the interest. And that is rising rapidly. So it can't be like, we'll trim a little bit here and there. That's not going to work. There have to be quite radical reductions in cost. Yeah.
And it's not going to be, the numbers vary, half the federal employees don't even go in once a month. And then you got the federal law enforcement, and you've got the security guards and the secretaries and the janitors, and they all work their asses off. But the bureaucrats just sit around on their asses and then run NGOs. There's over 1 million plus of them connected to Democrats, 1.1 million of 1.5 million total. And they live like kings. I mean, you'll meet somebody who lives in a big, nice house in a nice neighborhood. And, what do you do? I work for the federal government. I got some investments. And they're driving like a $100,000 car. And you're like, how the hell does a person live in a neighborhood? I'm a pretty successful talk show host. I can't live in this neighborhood. And then you meet a FBI agent in charge. I had a buddy in high school whose dad was the head FBI guy. We'll leave it at that here in Texas. And, I was just like, Mom didn't work. They got this mansion in Northwest Hills. And I was, sitting there, and, like, the next-door neighbor was the lady that created Barney the dinosaur. Just a side issue. Just people to make the connections. You know what I'm talking about. It was just like, So, I mean, this is out of control, people. This has been going on for 50, 60 years. It's just ridiculous. And it's coming to a head. And their lies aren't working. So here's some of the leftists having a meltdown over the global money laundering slush fund being discovered.
Well, you can imagine when you suddenly in your inbox find a termination notice or a leave of absence notice that you didn't expect to get on a flawed predicate that you're doing radical leftist insubordination.
Now, USAID is, a very notorious, it's sort of a switch player. There's no aid in USAID, by the way. Your brain is being tricked when you see the phrase USAID. It's not an aid organization. The aid in USAID stands for U.S. Agency for International Development. It is developing internationally around the world all of the institutions that the State Department needs to use. So when they are capacity building activist groups in a foreign country, that's because the State Department wants those activists there.
It's pretty jarring, and because there's so many lies and falsehoods circulating, and so many claims that people are sort of not with the program, I think people are just completely dislocated. There's no stable ground on which to walk. And then, of course, most of them have been laid off, so they're worried about how they're going to pay the bills and how they're going to make rent.
What my team and I encountered was absolute obstruction and lies coming out of USAID. They did.
All right, so now let's go to a important clip on this issue. Here it is.
Do you really think they spent $50 million on condoms? Where did you buy them? Where'd you get them from? Where's the sales order? Where's the product? Let's see it, because this is what they do. They make shit up like that, hide it in a bill on page 4,000, and then they take that $50 million that is your money and they put it in their pockets. $50 million on condoms in Gaza. But I mean, dude, it's a good example because it's so absurd. I don't believe that most Americans understand how the government not just oppresses us financially, but also legitimately just steals our money. And this is how you have people that come in with zero net worth, leaving with 50, 60, $100 million net worth. This is one of the ways that they do it.
Absolutely, that's on record. All right. Roger Ver, Bitcoin Jesus, indicted by the Obama administration. That was the Biden administration for nothing. It's on record. Bitcoin, tax evasion. He is set to be extradited today, they told him. And he's just waiting there in Spain for them to come grab him. It could happen while he's on with us, coming up for part of the next hour. So that's important to see the lawfare and the persecution still hanging over. But Van Bondi says no more two-tiered justice. They're going after the agents, the bureaucrats, the federal prosecutors. Not just firing them, they're going after them. And of course, the main law firm suing me over the years and everybody else is the law firm now that is representing the FBI agents that Trump is asking questions about January 6th to his Justice Department. It's a rat's nest, people. It was the FBI Connecticut ran all this. It's like a little mini mothership of their deep state. So, good luck for those guys. Notice that they're stealing trillions from you and then weaponizing it, brainwash your children about global warming and transgenderism and everything else, and take over the churches with billions and billions of grants. And that's why this is all force-fed. With the free market system, you have to make the decision to support it. So it's an activist action when you support the show. And we also sell you really good products, show you like them and get a great result, and we want to form a relationship. At a restaurant, again, I would try to serve really good quality, healthy, delicious food with great service that was affordable, so you'd come in a lot. So it's a win-win. You get great products that enrich and empower your life. You keep us on the air, and then we fight together for our shared values and future. So it's an act of resistance and war to fund the #1 recognized, most effective, independent information warfare operation telling the truth on the planet. You see the documents from the Pentagon, to Reuters. We want you to deceive the public, psychological warfare operations. It says run deception operations on U.S. citizens. It's incredible. Well, see, we don't get deep state money. We're backed by you because we're represented by you. Oh, I've had plenty of big globalists come along over the years and say, get in my pocket. And I said, piss up a rope. Wasn't even hard to turn down. I love what I'm doing. But I'm backed by you. We've had horses shot out from under us. We've been under massive attack. We climb back on. But we can't do it without you. So go to thealexjonesstore.com and bet on your future, bet on victory, while we've totally turned the tide and are blowing the living hell out of them. But when you've been attacked and somebody else started the fight and they're bigger and meaner than you, and you get a good lick in and knock them down to the ground, they're starting to get back up. This is an analogy. I'm not saying do this literally. You got to go ahead, lean back with that left leg and give them a nice big horse kick right up under the jaw. Clap those teeth together, knock those teeth out. They're not getting back up. You can go home to your family. So we got them on the ground. They're trying to get up, but you got to, and if they're tough enough to get up into that, you got to go ahead and get into the ribs with the right foot. And just, and if they're really tough, you got to say, oh, man, I didn't want to do this to you. Just grab their head, slam it right down the concrete and say bye-bye. So that's what we're doing right now. It is a savage act of information warfare, violence against lies and evil in the pedophile army. When you go to thealexjonesstore.com and you get the incredible supplements, the Sambuca is incredible for your whole body, your immune system, the ultimate iron, vitamin C, super concentrate, the CMOS powdered capsules, it's all there. As you know, the Democratic Party has financed a bunch of lawfare lawsuits against me and had rigged trials where the judges found me guilty and all the rest of it. It's been quite the saga. And then, multiple times last year, they ordered the building shut without a court order, and then the federal judge blocked them. That's the U.S. trustee from the Justice Department that's been involved in my bankruptcy. Well, then they had a fake auction that the judge overrode, and now we're still fighting them, and they're losing in federal court, and we should know the fate of InfoWars by mid-March at the latest. That said, though, when they said they owned us and we were off the air, people stopped going to InfoWarsStore.com, and rightfully so. If it's been hijacked by them, why would you go buy the products there? Well, now there's so little money in InfoWars because the sales have tanked because of their hijacking until it shuts down, that the U.S. trustee could then say there's no money here and order it shut down. Now, the good news is we only have a couple of thousand a day shortfall. And we have a lot of the great classic products that are still available there at thealexjonesstore.com. We're winning, but their hoax that they've taken us over has hurt us. So, here are the products that are still in stock, but if we are shut down, it's the last time you'll get them from InfoWars. That's the classic X2, the most powerful, incredible iodine out there. The classic vitamin mineral fusion is amazing. Body's the strongest turmeric formula out there, 95% humanoid. We've got the great organic multivitamin. We, of course, got the amazing Vaso Beats with the nitric oxide that boosts your heart and your whole body. Then, of course, there's Brain Force Ultra. There's a really fast-acting, clean, amazing nootropic. So there's your update. They're discounted. They're for sale, and it keeps us on the air. I know a lot of you already love these products. They're fan favorites. They work really well. So it could be your last chance to get them. Plus, it's needed to keep us on the air. Regardless, I need you to get the products, and they work really well.
I ask that with your verdict, you not only take Alex Jones' platform that he talks about away, I ask that you make certain he can't rebuild the platform. That's what matters. That is punishment. That is deterrence.
There's going to be a large set of plaintiffs who are going to be dividing up the courts of InfoWars in the bankruptcy estate. And over the course of that process, that could get very, very dangerous for Mr. Jones.
But we will be at it as long as it takes. And if you're out there right now and you're one of Alex Jones's audience members and you're considering giving him money, I just want you to know that based on the jury's verdict today, it's not a very good bet.
I hope that we never see someone like him again. I hope that with your verdict, he can go away.
But the money's not even really the question for me. The question is, will this suit be successful at stopping him from being on the national stage?
The very same law firms, the very same Democrat Party operations, 8-9 years of lawfare against Trump, now they're attacking Elon Musk. The same people have been after me. And they're starting to lose in court. But their hoax that they took over InfoWars caused a lot of people to believe that it was true, so people stopped going to InfoWarsStore.com and getting the right products, and now there's almost no money there. We've actually gone into the red. So they may be successful shutting us down. I don't think they will be. They've been caught red-handed. So to clear up any confusion, thealexjonesstore.com is owned by our great sponsor and is helping InfoWars and has set up the Alex Jones Network. So even if we get shut down, we stay on the air. But it looks like we're going to save InfoWars, except everybody thinks The Onion and Bloomberg own InfoWars and own the shopping cart, InfoWarsStore.com, so people aren't going to the store. Yes, it's still in our hands. And even when we get shut down, we're going to be moving to the other studios. But right now, we can shut down from lack of funds at InfoWars. So get the products you love. Could be your last chance to get them right now at InfoWarsStore.com.
InfoWars, the most banned network in the world.
This is an America First alert. We've uncovered another abuse from the Biden Justice Department. This time the target is Roger Ver, who was targeted because he was an early cryptocurrency pioneer, and he used his fortune to support conservative and liberty-oriented causes. After initially surviving the first round of phony government abuses, Roger Ver was forced to leave the country that he loves in order to protect himself from the same type of lawfare methods that were used to target President Donald J. Trump. But that didn't stop the corrupt Department of Injustice or the newly armed IRS. Even though Roger had paid all required taxes based on legal opinion he got from the leading tax lawyer in the United States, Biden still charged him with tax evasion. The feds even went as far as to raid his tax attorney's office to steal his tax records in violation of the 6th Amendment of the Constitution. What happened to our country? Biden's Justice Department charged Roger not because they want his tax money, but because they want to silence him and others with the goal of preventing Roger Ver and other cryptocurrency pioneers from funding of America First causes. Go to freerogernow.org to sign the petition, end the lawfare, and make America great again.
So yes, Trump's in, we're winning big, but there are still a lot of people we can't leave behind, like myself and Roger Ver, who's in even worse crosshairs of the bad guys. And I've looked at the case, I've followed it the whole time. This is what they do. And in my last 7 years being sued by the Democratic Party with their whole Sandy Hook thing, and the PR firms saying things I never did, having show trials where I was already guilty, produced by HBO. It was all a dragnet to try to put us in prison. They have the Justice Department in here saying they want to put me in prison. You see the Justice Department being refused over and over again by the federal judge to shut us down. They'll never take any buyers, because that's who's over it. They keep blocking it, so the judge doesn't even know what to do at this point. And I only bring up my case because this first 5 minutes isn't on the 400-plus radio stations. So I'm going to go to Roger in a few minutes. We go to break, come back. So 4 minutes we'll be going to him. But this is a big deal, all right? And you saw that it to General Flynn and Roger Stone and what they're still doing to Steve Bannon and just countless others. And you have to understand that we're the warriors that were willing to take on the bad guys because we believe in you, we believe in ourselves, we believe in freedom, we believe in America. And Trump barely made it through all he went through, and you supported him massively. And Musk is the richest man in the world on paper. There's really globalists, slush funds and things that are bigger, but he's the biggest independent person. But 90+% of the big billionaires are still backing the globalists. So we're winning major battles and are just scorched earth with the truth, dominating the bad guys. And it's beautiful. But we've not won the war, ladies and gentlemen. And we are very close right now with all this corruption that is coming out with these audits by Doge to being able to bring down the deep state and indict them all. And you've seen Trump going in with these malicious prosecutions, these political prosecutions, and he's already killed a bunch of them. And so, just like I had the owner of our great sponsor, Bigley, that owns and runs the AlexJonesStore.com, and he got a pardon from Trump, did absolutely nothing, was there on J6. They were beating up a woman that they killed in front of him. He helped her, and they charged him with all the rest of it. Trump pardoned him. He was going to spend 4 years in prison. So this is serious. And if they can get Roger, they can get the rest of us. So this is very important, and it also details how the deep state works. We're going to look at his case, but then also get his take on the world in general, Bitcoin, where he sees all this going, and so much more. Roger Ver coming up at Roger KVER on X and freerogernow.org.
And it's time for humanity to stand up in the info war and say, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this, but you want to fight, you better believe you've got one.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
All right, Roger Ver is our guest. He's been on the broadcast before when Mike Adams was guest hosting. But I've been following his work for years. He's been very prolific pro-Trump, very prolific pro-Bitcoin, been a huge supporter of America and freedom. And so as a little gift, like they give us all, he was indicted for tax evasion. And even mainline analysts said this is just preposterous. You noticed when I got an anonymous $9 million Bitcoin gift a few years ago and put it all in InfoWars, even though it was given to me, when I was on the stand during the show trial in Connecticut, the former federal prosecutor that's involved in a bunch of deep state activities kept saying, where's that money? What'd you do? And they had the Justice Department come in during the bankruptcy and interrogate me in depositions and subpoenas and read to me the U.S. code and say, if you say anything wrong, we're going to put you in jail. And just dragnet. We know of 5 grand juries they had open that they tried to get to indict me for God knows what. So I say that to explain to people that I just have mainline accountants, mainline tax firms, follow the law to the letter, don't even deal with my own checkbook, don't run the money into stuff, and they act like I'm Lex Luthor. Meanwhile, you got all these other people, like Sam Bankman-Fried in the Democratic Party, giving them billions of scam money in a pump and dump, and that's how they operate. So Roger Ver is our guest, also known as Bitcoin Jesus, one of the biggest pioneers of the crypto revolution and the very first investor in Bitcoin businesses, providing the seed funding for companies like blockchain.com, bitcoin.com, Kraken, and XRP. A finance advocate for financial freedom, he invested millions to build the industry, but he was falsely targeted by Biden's DOJ and is facing 109 years in prison over politically motivated tax charges. He's the latest victim of government lawfare, just like President Trump. Trump has promised that the new Department of Justice will end the Democrats' lawfare in Biden's war on Bitcoin. President Trump really needs to dismiss the charges against Roger Ver. And you can find out more on X at Roger KVER and at freerogernow.org. So, Roger, I kind of want to give you the floor here, and I noticed you tweeted or posted on X you were coming on. You weren't very dramatic. You said, I'll be covering some big news. People are like, hurry up, get him on, which I was intending to do, because the extradition order, I guess, came down a few days ago, and they're reportedly could be coming right now. So this could unfortunately happen while you're on with us. So first, give us an update on that, and then I'm going to try to give you the floor to talk about what really happened with you, where this is going, and then your really expert view on the economy, on Bitcoin, on Trump coming in with the sovereign wealth fund. Word is they're going to try to bring Bitcoin into that, and so much more. So, Roger, great to have you.
Yeah, thank you. It's just another example. Anytime anybody's promoting, conservative or libertarian causes, the government wants to come after them, and I'm just the latest example of that. I'm currently here on bail in Spain, but I just lost my final appeal, and so maybe even tonight while I'm on the air, they're going to grab me. Maybe it's tomorrow. I don't know exactly when or where, but any moment now in Spain, they're going to extradite me to the U.S. and literally want me to serve the rest of my life in prison for absolutely nothing. anybody that looks at the situation there, they all say that it's absolute insanity that this was brought at all, because my instructions the entire time were to all my accountants and tax attorneys, do everything exactly perfectly. I know I'm a political target. I'm politically active, promoting these causes that promote human freedom and people having control over their own money and their own lives. Certain people in government hate that. That's why I've been a target for almost my entire life. This I wish I could say this is new to me, but this is my second go-around. I ran for political office as a libertarian as a young man, instantly had the ATF come after me, and I was the only person in the entire world to be tossed in jail for selling fireworks without a license back on eBay. And then, here I am again, promoting Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to the world. They're coming after me again. It's just more lawfare like they've used against you, they've used against President Trump, they're using against anybody that promotes people having more control over their own life. And it's just such an incredibly frustrating situation to be in. But you have a huge platform and a huge number of people behind you. I've been listening to your show on and off for 2.5 decades. The guys in my business in Silicon Valley used to listen to in my warehouse. And it's just so fantastic to see how many people are now speaking up and have the courage to speak up now that President Trump, won the election. They didn't cheat enough this time to oust him. This is fantastic. It almost feels like another American Renaissance is happening right before our eyes, and I want to be a part of it. I want to invest my money in American businesses that are making this happen. This is so exciting, but we all have to come together and stop the deep state from attacking the people that are out there making the world great for everybody, making America great for everybody. This is what it takes for all of us to speak out, because if we don't speak out, they're going to take each of us down one at a time, just like they've done to you, just like they're doing to me, just like they're trying to do to anybody that's effectively, reaching people out there and telling the world about these fantastic technologies.
I mean, look at Kim.com. I mean, it's everybody that is pro-human, conservative, libertarian, populist, anti-war. And I want to mention this. I remember, this is like 18 years ago now. They did a big Freedom of Information Act request. They sued to get it. And WorldNet Daily, the Western Journalist Corner, finally got not the Clinton Foundation internationally, but the Clinton Library Foundation in Little Rock. And they got hundreds of thousands of pages, and it was the first meetings in the White House in 1993, and the Clintons were saying we've got to shut down any grassroots media or businesses or banks or corporations or filmmakers, and they were listing the people that made the Clinton Chronicles film, they were listing conservative newsletters. Ron Paul was in there. He wasn't even back in Congress yet, but he'd been in there before, and he was listed, just thousands of little newsletters and things, because they knew freedom was popular, and they said we've got to audit, we've got to harass, we've got to indict the entire conservative or populist infrastructure. So they understood this, and now what must it be like for them to see Elon Musk fully awake, fighting like a rampant lion, and Trump and the world waking up and populism exploding. And I'm going to make a prediction. Trump, the Justice Department, not Trump, it knows this is a fraud. It's going to be dropped. But what is it going to be like when you're in chains on that airplane? Who knows in the process? I mean, the administration needs to move quickly on this because they're scared of you. You're smart, you're successful, you've done a lot for the country, and that's why they did this to you. And I mean, I've experienced it. I know. We've literally been in the same foxholes. So this needs to happen. It needs to happen very, very quickly. But you want to respond in general to what I was just talking about?
Yeah, the left goes after anybody that's effective espousing the ideals of human freedom. And so that's why they attack people like you, like President Trump, like me. Elon Musk and Donald Trump together, they're basically saving America. And if you save America, you're saving the whole world. This is so amazing to see this going on, but we need to rescue the people that are effectively espousing these ideas, and don't let the left censor us, don't let the left use lawfare against us, don't let the left imprison us. We need to bring an end to the lawfare against people that are effective of spreading the messages of free markets and human freedom. That's why they hate this sort of thing. They want to control all of us. They want to just live in 15-minute cities and control, if you have plastic straws or paper straws or this and that, they want to control every last detail of your life. So if you believe in human freedom, you need to support Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and all the people out there that are espousing these ideas. And that's why they want to shut you up. They want to shut me up. They want to shut anybody up that's out there, either building the technological tools to enable these sort of things or just spreading the ideas out there. And it's just really, really a shame. And they've been effectively, shut me up for the last year while I've been fighting this extradition in Spain. And It's just such a frustrating situation to be in, but also incredibly optimistic now that we have somebody like President Trump in office. Can you imagine what America would be like today if Kamala had won? Everybody would be looking to flee America. They'd be terrified of the lawfare that was coming to them. And so, the other day, I think Elon Musk was a little bit confused, saying that, oh, Roger left America. I didn't leave America. I was driven out of America by the lawfare. I absolutely never would have dreamed of leaving America if they hadn't been prosecuting me for absolute nonsense because of the political views I had and because of the effectiveness I had in spreading those ideas. And so this needs to come to an end. And now we have probably certainly the best chance in my lifetime to do this, and maybe one of the best chances ever to bring it into the lawfare and make America great again. The way we make America great again is we end the deep state, we get rid of all these politicians that are controlling everybody's lives, and set people free again in America. That's how we make it great again, and that's what's happening right now. And I want to be an even bigger part of it than I am already. Nothing would make me happier to play an even bigger role in making America great again and helping people like President Trump and Elon Musk and everybody else there. This is really an amazing chance for the entire world to have an American Renaissance, which the entire world is, riding on America's shoulders here. America's carrying the entire world. Let's do this for America. Let's do this for the whole world. America's the one that can do it, and I want to help.
That's right. Our example here in America is supercharging populist, peaceful awakenings and revolutions right now. I mean, this is a populist, conservative, free market, laissez-faire, classic Americana system, what I've been calling 1776 worldwide, where we don't conquer the world militarily and maybe a tyranny, but we conquer it culturally, and that's the Trump model. That's what's been adopted, and it's just devastating the globalists in live time. But I'm very concerned about some of the dirty tricks they're already playing and what they're going to do. I want to ask you about that and about what Doge is doing and so much more. But that's coming up at the bottom of the hour in the 12, 14 minutes to break. For people that don't know, everybody knows who you are, but for don't know what a progenitor you've been in the Bitcoin movement, how accurate you've been, how you've been proven right, and then the case itself, just how ridiculous it is on record. I mean, the crime here is what they did to you. And again, if they can set the precedent for this type of crap, they can do it to everybody. So, Roger, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I was literally the very first person in the entire world to start investing in the Bitcoin ecosystem and building the businesses that would enable normal people to use Bitcoin as money for the entire world. And, what do politicians hate? They hate people being in charge of their own lives. And so cryptocurrencies enabled people being in charge of their own money and their own lives. They wanted to put a stop to it. So they audited me. They audited my businesses. They harassed me time and time again. Not only were they harassing me, they were harassing my entire family too. They were auditing all of my family members. They were auditing their businesses. They'd just been harassing me every single step of the way and literally drove me out of the country. So I wasn't able to participate. These businesses that I invested in America, they can't get bank accounts. They've been debanked. They've been debanking me. They're making it so difficult for American businesses to be able to build these tools that make the world a better place. Why would they do this? Why was Biden waging a war on crypto? Why were so many people ready to leave America completely if Kamala had won the election? This is the exact opposite of what America needs to be doing. It's what we're doing now is correct, right? We're ending the war on crypto. We're wanting all these Bitcoin businesses to come to America. This is where it should be. This is where things really got started. I set up, literally, I started the Bitcoin meetup group in Silicon Valley. I think at the first meetup, maybe 4 people came. And today, Bitcoin is this worldwide phenomenon. And it started right there in the U.S. That's where people really got excited about it early on in the earliest days of Bitcoin. And so if we want to make America great again, it has to be great for crypto to America. And there's nothing I would like more to be a part of that, but I need to be able to do it safely. And if they're threatening to put me in jail till the end of my life, I can't do anything. I can't engage in business. I can't go to the U.S. I can't do anything. And so and I'm not the only one. I have friends literally in prison for running Bitcoin ATM machines. Ian Freeman in New Hampshire there literally is in prison for running Bitcoin ATM machine. Roman Storm is writing open source software that anybody can use to have additional privacy with their Ethereum stuff. He's looking at a long time in prison as well. They're literally going after people that just write software code, then other people go and run it and do whatever they want with it. It's just absolutely crazy what's going to be going on.
But the attempts, but this is a Pyrrhic victory for them with their fake, garbage in this indictment, because Bitcoin is reached escape velocity a long time ago, and now has major governments around the world investing in it, has central banks moving into it, it has the biggest hedge funds and investment funds heavily moving into it. So Bitcoin has won. A, do you agree with that statement? I know you do. And then B, when would you say Bitcoin crossed the Rubicon or the point of no return to be, obviously preeminent and unstoppable?
Crypto has won, but it's not. The battle's not over yet. We still need to make sure that it doesn't wind up being this central bank digital currency in which every single transaction is tracked and monitored and controlled by central governments and central banks.
That's right. So it's one when it comes to adoption. It's one showing it's an amazing technology and totally revolutionary. But you're saying the real battle, the real war now is over who controls it. Is it decentralized or centralized? That's key.
Yeah, and if people don't have control of their own money, then you're not a free man. So we need to make sure that whatever cryptocurrencies people are using out there, they have control over their own money, and that's so important that we don't let it become morphed into a tool of oppression rather than a tool of freedom. And the battle's not over. We need to keep an eye on that very, very closely. I am very optimistic about Bitcoin at the moment, though, because there's another technology called confidential layer and Zano, and those three things together really help Bitcoin with its scalability and its fungibility, and that's fantastic for everybody. And so I'm more bullish on Bitcoin than ever before because of these additional technologies that have been coming along. So I invite everybody, Google confidential layer and Zano plus Bitcoin. Wow, what a powerful tool for more economic freedom for the world.
Explain to people about why that's so important for people that don't know. And then give us your trend, lines of what you are dead reckoning's about to happen with it just going up and up and up. And then, though, I want to go back, and I want to ask you, do you know who created Bitcoin? Because you are like one of the first people really seeing it and setting up infrastructure, which, that people always ask that constant question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, is, but whoever he is, wherever he or she is or are, clearly they wanted privacy, so we should give them the privacy that they want. I will say very clearly that it's not this guy Craig Wright who's been claiming for years to be Satoshi Nakamoto. That guy's a liar and a fraud, so don't be fooled by him. But wherever Satoshi is, I wish them the very best, and I hope they get everything they want out of life, because they invented literally one of the most important inventions in human history, right up there on par with the importance of the invention of the wheel or electricity or something like that. It's really a world-changing invention, and we're seeing that today. People are recognizing that the price of Bitcoin's around $100,000 each. There's thousands of other cryptocurrencies out there. There's just this entire explosion of innovation happening in the space, and it's making people all across America and all across the world better off because of it. And so, the only thing that's even in the same league at the moment in terms of excitement are all these new AI technologies. But just like we have to be careful that the AI doesn't become our overlord and control every aspect of our lives, we have to do the same with cryptocurrency and make sure that it winds up becoming a tool of freedom rather than a tool of oppression. And both these we really need to keep an eye on, because society is going to change so quickly in the next few years on both of those fronts, with cryptocurrency and AI both.
So far, what do you think of Trump making good on his promises with these executive orders on crypto, and can you walk through what you see those doing?
Yeah, I think he's making people feel like, America's going to feel safe for crypto again. Crypto entrepreneurs can be in America instead of Dubai or Singapore or wherever else. These people can come home to America, and so that's fantastic. Another, I really need to thank him. He freed Ross Ulbricht, kept his promise. All the libertarians are so glad that they voted for him. It's one of the most effective things that the Libertarian Party has ever managed to accomplish with my partner.
Silk Road did absolutely nothing wrong. Created basically a bulletin board, and then how many life sentences for him?
I think they gave him 2 life sentences plus 40 years, but now he's out with his family again. Fantastic for the world, fantastic for crypto entrepreneurs. I was one of the first people to start, pushing his cause and donating money to his legal defense there. And it was another example of how the deep state goes after people that build tools that enable more freedom. The judge that sentenced him, in her sentencing remarks, she was complaining about how she doesn't feel like he's let go of his libertarian free market ideals. And in America, you're not supposed to be sentenced more harshly based on your political opinions. Yet that's exactly what that woman did. And it's disgusting.
Oh, it's so communist. It's so communist. I mean, literally, our sponsors they're trying to put in prison. Owen Schroyer, been here 9 years, longer. They indicted him and all this for being at January 6th with me, trying to keep people going in the building. They said in the court filings that he was in the building attacking, never went in the building. He was with me. They said in the court filing he's lying, Your Honor. He doesn't work at InfoWars. He's been anchoring a show for 6-7 years at the time when they indicted him, and then the judge and the prosecutors kept saying, and then he said 2020 election was stolen, and they would have clips in the filings in court when he said things on air, and then they asked for longer sentencing. Of course, Trump pardoned him, but he was still sent to prison before that. He was asked for. It's just crazy that they put in all their look. He likes Trump. I mean, it is so communist and so cuckoo land that they do this.
Yeah, and it was the exact same in my own case. Word got back to me that when they were having the grand juries looking into me and trying to charge me, they spent most of the time not asking about my Bitcoin, not asking about my taxes. They spent most of the time asking about my Twitter account. What do you think about this tweet of Rogers? What do you think about that tweet of Rogers? In America, you're not supposed to go to jail based on your Twitter account, and so I'm supposed to call it X now. But it's just crazy that these people, they literally find people that they don't like their political views, and they go after them. And the biggest problem that President Trump has at the moment is that there are so many victims of this. So many. It's not one or two. It's there's some high profile ones, but there's so many people that aren't high profile as well that are victims of this exact same sort of lawfare. And I just hope that President Trump and the new administration can see it for what it is and bring justice to all these wonderful people that deserve to have justice and deserve it not to be prosecuted for their political views and for supporting American values, right? America's built on free markets and free speech and freedom of thought. Don't prosecute these people. Pardon these people that are out there, promoting these American ideals and speaking their mind.
There's so many places to go with this, but we're about to go to break. I want to come back because I know the filmmakers that made this this documentary that just came out last week or so, Bitcoin Jesus, the prosecution of Roger Ver, and I'm going to take this interview today, and then I'm going to stick it, it's okay with you, on the front of your film, and I'm going to upload it to my X account. Is that something you want, Roger?
Yes, please. It's all open source, free for anyone to use.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know you're just like me in that's what we've always done. So I want to make sure that, not 50 million people see this, but 100 million people see it. So when folks are watching live right now, when we post the full thing at the end of this interview, I want everybody to share that today when we get up the next hour or so on X. So I want to go to break, come back and play a few minutes of the film. It's amazing, very high production quality. It's only 20 minutes and 23 seconds long. And we're going to play part of that, and then come back and talk big picture with you, and just any concerns you've got, warnings to Trump, any advice to Elon, because they're obviously super smart, both of them, and understand they've got to move quick. This is we're all in danger, because the deep state already tried to kill Trump twice. They tried to kill Elon a bunch. I'll just leave it at that. And these aren't just random people coming out to try to kill him in Austin. This is a lot of serious stuff going on, so we need to break all that down with Roger Ver straight ahead. And are there any other websites or any other places people should visit other than freerogernow.org?
Yeah, and of course, if you want to get started with cryptocurrency, visit bitcoin.com, blockchain.com, any of these cryptocurrency websites, because cryptocurrency is literally one of the best tools we've ever had to have more economic freedom for everybody, and that's literally what America was founded on. And so I want to caution, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they've tried killing you guys a couple of times. They're going to keep trying. We have to dismantle the deep state as quickly as we possibly can, and they're going to try and silence all of us, whether it's through death or other lawfare. We need to move as quickly as we can to dismantle the deep state.
Absolutely. Political prisoner, on house arrest there right now in Spain, about to be extradited to the United States. Roger Ver is our guest. I'm Alex Jones. I'm at Real Alex Jones on X. Share the live feed now. That's how we win the info war. Stay with us.
Unbelievable. Get a little gas. David from Iowa, he just won the 2024 Ford F-250 trimmer, $10,000 in cash from the Alex Jones store. Well, we got a surprise for everybody. The new giveaway. Show it to him, David.
It's got everything. We were actually running them earlier, and this one's been beating this one, hands down.
This is the 2024 Ford Bronco Raptor Edition. It's brand new. I think it's got 37-inch tires. I don't know. It's got big tires on it. It's the Baja Off-Road Package. If you go to the AlexJonesStore.com right now, buy a T-shirt like David's got on, buy a hat, buy one of the fundraiser posters, or buy some of the amazing supplements. Buy the CMOS, right? The CMOS caps are in stock right now. Buy the Atomic Defense. Buy the, I don't know, the turmeric. I love the turmeric. The turmeric's great too. Buy any of the great supplements at AlexJonesStore.com. He won the F-250, but somebody is going to win this brand new Ford Bronco Raptor. We have to stay in the fight, and we have to show support to alternative media like Alex Jones right now at the AlexJonesStore.com. The fight doesn't stop because we won, right? So go to the AlexJonesStore.com. David won this. Somebody is going to win this. A brand new Ford Bronco Raptor plus $10,000 in cash at the AlexJonesStore.com.
Let's get out there and support Alex. He needs your help.
We are unified by our spirit that God made and our connection to the Creator and the universe and our children. And this is the genesis point of the new revolution of information.
I will always believe and I will always say in public that Alex Jones is the most extraordinary person I've ever met.
I'll tell you, that guy is right about a lot of shit.
Alex Jones has been right a lot of times.
Alex has been right on for over a decade.
Fluoride, just like Alex Jones was saying, not good. It's crazy.
The real war's here with the globalists and Soros and Obama and the New World Order and BlackRock. They've declared war on us, and we accept the challenge. We're taking the country back.
AlexJones.network is tomorrow's news today.
My name is Roger Veer, and I'm 45 years old. I was born in America, but several years ago, I made the difficult decision to renounce my citizenship. For more than 2 decades, I've been relentlessly targeted by the U.S. government. Now I'm facing the possibility of spending the rest of my life in prison, up to 109 years, for crimes I did not commit. This is my story.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange faced up to 175 years in prison.
John McAfee had just been ordered extradited to the United States on tax evasion charges.
Donald J. Trump arrested, fingerprinted, and charged with 34 felony counts.
This case really is lawfare at its worst.
We are clearly in a political lawfare environment.
The U.S. government don't really like it when someone stands up to them in any way, shape, or form.
Lawfare isn't new. Lawfare has been happening for decades. At the time that the war against Roger began 25 years ago, he was one of the only ones, and very few Americans were aware this was happening. But now, lawfare has reached to the highest levels. My name is Tracy Thurman. It's a little hard to describe what I do. I come in on cases where people are facing lawfare, and I do everything I can to help them. I only take cases I believe in, and I only take cases that I care about. Roger's case is one of those.
You grew up in Silicon Valley. What was that like? And, what was your family like?
And I'll wish whoever does the editing good luck with that, chopping all this together as well. So I grew up in Silicon Valley, and as a teenager I ran one of the most popular BBSs, that stands for Bulletin Board System, which was kind of the internet before the internet. And so I ran that out of my bedroom, and one summer, I think maybe between 7th and 8th grade, my mother told me I wasn't allowed to play any more video games, and I had to go do something else. And so I went and looked on the bookshelf, and I saw a book called Socialism by a man named Ludwig von Mises. It basically explains how incredibly important money is in the prices that they transmit. Aren't just prices of goods, it's information as to what goods should be used to produce what other goods, and what labor and what human resources should be used to produce other things. And without that free flow of money, the signals or the communications get distorted. And anytime the government gets involved in the flow of money, it's blocking these price signals. And the more economics I studied, the more I realized that anytime government is intervening in the economy, they're retarding the world's rate of economic growth.
Welcome to the Libertarian Party's 2000 presidential debate.
I wanted to tell people about these ideas. And so one of the ways that I thought would be efficient to tell more people around the world about the benefits of free markets and entrepreneurship and getting the government out of the way of the economy was to run for political office as a libertarian in the United States.
Each candidate is going to be given 5 minutes.
I got to have numerous debates and meet lots of interesting people, but it was in one debate in particular at San Jose State University where I was debating the Republican and Democratic candidates, and unbeknownst to me at the time, in the audience were some ATF agents. And I called the ATF and FBI a bunch of jackbooted thugs and murderers in reference to murdering children in Waco, Texas.
911, what's your emergency? They're shooting at us in Mount Carmel. Tell them there are children and women in here and call it off.
There were dozens of young children there. They literally sent in tanks and men with guns, and they set the entire place on fire, and then they posed for photos on top of the bodies of dead kids.
Including 24 children were killed.
You don't murder kids. And when Bitcoin came along, it was clear to me that that was the kryptonite to government's ability to wage wars and to control people and to interfere in the economy. And there was nothing that was going to stop me from telling people about how important this was.
For Roger, that was the beginning of asking very serious questions about the U.S. government. And honestly, it was the beginning of the persecution against him.
Before crypto, I've been involved in e-commerce, and I was selling mainly computer memory on the internet. And I was also selling a product called a Pest Control Report 2000, which was basically a firecracker that farmers would use to scare birds away out of their cornfield. And I was selling these on eBay. They had a guns and ammo section, and there were thousands, if not hundreds, of other people selling that exact same product on eBay. I wound up being the only person ever in the entire history of the world to be charged criminally for selling those without a license.
Can you imagine the U.S. government spend money and time to imprison Roger Ver over firecrackers?
In a meeting between Roger, his attorney, the ATF agent, and the prosecutor, Roger's attorney was asking the prosecutor, look, wouldn't this be a case normally where you would just tell the guy to get a license? Maybe you'd fine him, but you wouldn't be seeking prison time. And at that point, the ATF agent pounds his fist on the table and says, but you didn't hear what he said about us. That clears up completely whether this was a politically motivated case or not.
I literally became politically persecuted for saying things that I believe in my heart of hearts to be true. If you murder kids, you're a murderer. And so anyhow, I did my 10 months in federal prison. And so I wound up, waiting the 3 years of federal probation that I had. And literally on the very day I was allowed to leave, I left the United States, and I haven't lived there again since because they made me terrified to live there. I was born there. All my family's there. That's where I grew up. That's the place I love and will be near and dear to my heart.
Roger Ver, a true trailblazing visionary, and now a political prisoner, set to be extradited within hours or days, on house arrest in Spain. Another person the deep state saw from afar away and said, cut that one down, it'll grow too big. Reminds me of the reggae song by Bob Marley. I shot the sheriff. Got to cut them down before they grow. Bitcoin Jesus, the prosecution of Roger Ver. We're going to post the full thing to X at Real Alex Jones as soon as this interview is over. But I wanted to put the interview with Roger so you hear from him again with updates before we play that. And then within hours or days, he'll be on an airplane shackled, flying into some gulag here, still under deep state control. Yes, we've got major beachheads. Yes, we're winning. But ladies and gentlemen, literally 8 times, 6 times you know about the news, they have come with armed men, private security, with no court order to try to kick us out of the building, the Justice Department. And when I say, you don't have a court order, they go, you're right, let's call the head of security. We can't do this. Then they came and tried to kick me out November 14th and said they'd had a sale that never was real. They were ordered by the judge to have an auction. And then the U.S. trustee from the Justice Department, Chris Murray, just said there was a secret sale to The Onion that was really Bloomberg. It's Everytown, that's in the documents. It's a CIA operation. That's come out in court and FBI. And they just turned the internet off. The next day, the judge said, get out of the building. And then he overrode their fraudulent sale. And then he said, you're going to highest bidder, you got a month. The group comes in, cash.
Finally.
Now we've learned other groups have gone and put in offers, and Murray never told the court because it's not for sale, it's to be shut down, and they've said that. Well, I can tell you, the new Justice Department is investigating. So the reason I keep putting myself in this story is my colleagues have been put in prison in this building for nothing. So I know this is a lie. I know this is a fraud. And I'm not a vengeful person, but these people that did this need to be put in prison. And Trump is going after the Justice Department corrupt people. He told them last week to the acting director of the FBI, answer this question, all FBI agents and Justice Department prosecutors, answer this 12-question questionnaire about, did you work on January 6th before? Were you there? What did you do after? And then we see who lawyers up. And the very law firm persecuting me, Blumenthal's operation, Senator Blumenthal's operation, is now the law firm representing the FBI agents that won't even answer the 12 questions. So yeah, Trump's coming, the cavalry's here, but it's a process. They got to expose the corruption, get control of the agencies, sink the globalist, big ship, and then all the rest of the rats are going to politically drown. Not violently, of course. I mean, that's an analogy. So, Roger, you're sitting there watching that very powerful, amazing. People that haven't seen the whole thing should. Don't even wait till you go to my ex-account. It's there. Just get it and share it. But Real Alex Show is a good place to share it because it'll get even maximum. The more you share it there, the more it gets shared everywhere, I would imagine. Elon will probably share it. In fact, we're going to upload it dry by itself, and then we'll upload another version with you on it right now. But the time we have, it's precious time before you disappear into a black hole, hopefully not too long, until the cavalry get there. What else do you want to impart to the viewers and listeners?
I think actually I want to thank Elon Musk for basically saving America by buying X and allowing free speech again and allowing people like you and I to have platforms again because they were busy deplatforming all of us. So think about what an amazing difference that's made for America, that now people actually can talk about things again. And, you weren't allowed to say that the election was stolen. Look at what the FBI did, where they lied to everybody on purpose, claiming that the Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian, fake. They literally stole the election. You think that didn't sway a whole bunch of people in the way they voted? So the FBI, they want to charge. And here's another story. They tried to charge me with election interference previously because I wasn't a U.S. citizen. I was donating money to a YouTuber named Adam Kokesh, who ran for not president of the United States and didn't even make it to the general election, right? He was just doing it as a platform to spread ideas that I believe in. The Federal Election Commission tried to have me charged criminally as a foreigner interfering in American elections. That's how crazy it is. Well, look at what the FBI is doing, knowingly and intentionally lying to everybody about the Hunter Biden laptop. I'm glad some justice looks like it's on the way for that. But this whole thing needs to come to an end. And I could very well be in handcuffs, in jail, or on an airplane on the way back to the U.S. Later tonight, tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly where they're going to grab me. But if all of your listeners can stand up and say, hey, President Trump, end the lawfare against Roger Ver. The new Department of Justice, end the lawfare against Roger Ver. I haven't been convicted yet. Just drop the charges. Anybody can look at it and see that it's 100% fake. This stems from 2014 when the global volume for all the Bitcoins in the entire world traded were less than $10 million a day, right? The Bitcoin wasn't anywhere near where it is today. So the whole thing is just absolute nonsense, and it's lawfare trying to be used against people like myself and you and anybody that's spreading these ideas of free markets and American freedom. They want to shut us up, so don't let it happen. This is our chance, and so I'm asking all of your listeners, please go and support me. Write your congressman, write your senator, tweet at President Trump, tweet at Elon Musk, hey, America's about liberty and justice for all. I'm certainly, born in America, and I'm part of that all, and just because I'm not living in America recently, it's not because I wanted to live outside America, it's because they drove me away. They made me terrified to be in the land that I was born. So here's our chance to fix all these different things for all of these different people, and I need everybody's help because otherwise I'll be condemned to die in prison if I'm found guilty of these fake charges. And so and we know that they love to try and railroad things through in the courts, and just like with your own situation, firsthand what a rigged situation where they're not even selling the business to the highest bidder, and the whole lawfare stuff before that was a joke too. So we need all of the fans of Alex Jones and the InfoWars, we need everybody to speak up because this is our chance. President Trump got into office. He's the one who has the power to fix this, and him plus Elon Musk plus all these other people speaking out, this is our chance to really make America great again, and nothing would make me happier than to be a part of it. but I need everybody's help to be a part of it, and all of us need to help everybody else do it. And what a great platform InfoWars is to get the word out about all of that. So I just want to say thank all these different people that are involved in that, and let's help each other make America great again. And please, let's do it.
Roger, we are all in this together, and it's not just a chance. I agree with you. This is our big chance, but we're winning this thing. But when Trump first got in 8 years ago, people kind of went to sleep and thought everything was okay. No, the war had just begun then. Now we're winning the war. We just haven't. I'd say we're 70% there. And they could still kill Trump. They could kill Musk. They could do a big false flag attack. I'm concerned they're going to attack the Social Security computers and blame Musk. Even though, you have the 22 million affected by OPM hack. You had the Chi-Coms and others hacking, taking over the U.S. government treasury, the Federal Reserve, stuff this year, stuff last year, stuff 10 years ago under Obama. They're the ones all leaking everything, obviously with the Chinese on purpose, inside jobs, and then turning around and saying Musk is sabotaging U.S. security when he's saving U.S. security.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I've gotten far better services from Starlink and Tesla and X from any of Musk's businesses than I ever got at the DMV. So if you want to have good, more efficient anything, let's put the private sector in charge of it rather than a bunch of government bureaucrats. And that's exactly what Doge is busy doing. That's exactly what President Trump is doing. That's exactly what's going to wind up making America great again. And so we need to support these people and stand up for them. And anytime these leftists and socialists and communists try and stop America from being made great again, we need to speak up and support these people. And if it wasn't for people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk and these others, it would be not just the end of America, it's kind of the end of human civilization. If America falls, the rest of the world falls with it. And it's so exciting to see America being made great again, because that's what we need, and that's what we're a part of, and that's going to make everybody better off because of it. And so I want to be a part of it, but I can't do it if I'm in jail. And we need to let these other amazing entrepreneurs that are in jail right now for their involvement in cryptocurrency, let them out of jail. If there was no victim, there was no crime. If
we had mass pardons for J6, we had a mass unconditional pardon for all of the Bitcoin people. This is pure crap. And now. Here's a key point I want to make, though, to really crystallize this for viewers and listeners, because I know everybody knows this, but we need to really get this front and center in our brain. They are afraid of populist free market ecosystems. That's the main thing that threatens them. That's in the Clinton documents from the first day in the White House, 1993. It's public, and it's just a microcosm of it all. And we have U.S. aid, which is an admitted CIA operation for destabilization here and worldwide regime change. Now we know used to push the Trump impeachments, to quarterback it, used to try to steal the 2020 election and the other two, 2016, 2024. They were successful ones. And Trump's cut that all off. And now it's coming out that has been a CIA operation. That is illegal. That's criminal. And this is what I've been saying. Funding the corporate media, while they also, the new documents will come out, targeting me and a bunch of others, specifically all the top patriot media, targeted by the government, the FBI, with think tanks and universities, all coming with massive amounts of government money to try to shut us down, demonize us, and lie about us. And now the story's up on Infowars.com, Operation Mockingbird. That was the old declassified name of the CIA paying media to lie. So it's much bigger now. We don't know we actually, they don't even have code names now. It's the Pentagon documents say Operation Deceive the Public. I showed that 2 days ago. Yes, that really says that. Money to Reuters. Representative Anna Paulina Luna pushes Doge to expose CIA control over U.S. media propaganda machine. Well, they've done it. That's who's running U.S. aid and others. But here's a short clip.
So we know now that USAID was funding so many news outlets, to include the BBC. So I want to remind people, remember that Project Mockingbird that was declassified was actually a CIA op during the Cold War to actually use media to influence people, to include the American people. So are we surprised that USAID, which is also doing a lot of the dirty work for the intelligence agencies, was caught red-handed funding massive propaganda outlets, not just in the United States, but across the world? No, we're not surprised at all. However, does it need to continue? Absolutely not, which is exactly why it's really important that Doge continues the work that it needs to be doing. Now, I just want to be clear about something. I absolutely think that what Elon specifically is doing is dangerous, probably to his life, because he's pissing off a lot of people. But he has the security and he has the ability to do it. So continue. Onward, onward, onward.
Yeah, this is a big deal going down. And again, I don't want to write myself into it. It's just a perfect documentation. CIA, FBI, Blevis character admitting all this and saying, yeah, we investigated Jones for years under Obama order. We couldn't find it. So we went and set up these lawsuits and these fake cases to take him out. Then you have the head of the Connecticut FBI counsel on the stand admitting he went and created and set it all up. So we have it on the stand, we have it undercover, and then we got last week, as Trump released it to us, the Obama-era orders up until now that they kept secret when Trump was in the last time to target me as a top national security threat, level 3 national security threat and terrorist and white supremacist, and with that designation, the debanking all of it. And so people, you have to understand, it's not just the CIA funding lies about Roger Ver, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Alex Jones, Roger Stone. They open up on you to demonize you before they then send the Justice Department to indict you. So these are all coordinated conspiracy against rights, and they all need to go to prison. Closing comments, Roger Ver.
Yeah, the people perpetrating this do need to go to prison, and we need to defund these organizations that have been doing this so they can't do it again in the future. These organizations are what made America head down the wrong path. So let's stop giving them our money. Let's all use cryptocurrency. Let's stop funding the bad people that are doing bad things in the world, and that's exactly what the CIA has been busy doing. And so, yeah, thank you, President Trump. Thank you so much, Elon Musk, for giving us free speech again on X. Like, this is the start of another American Renaissance, and I want to be a part of it, but I can't do it if I'm in jail. So I need everybody's help to end the lawfare against me. Please head on over to freerogernow.org to read all about it. And President Trump, if you're listening, please save me from the deep state that's been going after you with their fake lawfare and after so many other patriots like Alex Jones and Elon Musk as well. So I need everybody's help, and I'll be out there to add my voice to the millions of you out there spreading the word to make America great again.
Roger, I know that there's been a lot going on, and we've been needing to talk more, so hopefully you're not grabbed by the time I get off air, but I know it's also later in Spain, but I'm going to try to call you when I'm off in a few hours, and we have some stuff to talk about, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. There he goes. All right. Very important. All right. I've got 2 more hours left. Massive breaking news. So much to get into, but we're going to take this interview, which you just saw, it's live, but everybody cut it up now. Use it. Get it up. Don't wait for me. And we're going to put his film at the end of it, and we're going to put the film out by itself on Real Alex Jones in the next hour. So get it. Go, 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 go. But don't wait for us to do it. You're all just as important as we are. Now, that said, we're winning, but it's an information war. The ammo is your financial support. And we are in the trenches. We are warriors for you because we're in this together. I'm fighting for myself and my family, but they live in the world with you. So we're all in this together. And I need people to understand that when you go to the AlexJonesStore.com, you are not just keeping us on the air, and we're really starting to win. You are helping us help everybody else like Roger and countless others that have been through hell. And man, how sweet the victories are now that we've turned the tide. But we've got to keep going or we could lose this thing. It's like we're 25 points ahead in the last quarter. The other team could still take it. Now, down the road, they'll still lose the main war, but it could be really a lot rougher. I know you know that. So go to the AlexJonesStore.com. And folks, when I tell you our information's powerful and you see it is, the supplements are just as powerful as what they do for your body. Irish sea moss is the superfood. We have the strongest, best concentrate, powdered caps right now. It is so good for your whole body, libido, stamina, energy, clarity, immune system. It's got the very best iodine in it. It's really the missing link. People that don't know. Everybody thinks methyl blue is great, and it is. This is beyond that, okay? It does something similar but way stronger. You need to get Ultimate Sea Moss at the AlexJonesStore.com. It empowers you, and it empowers this broadcast that is the immune system against tyranny. And there's all the other great products, like the Iron Super Vitamin C Formula Gummies, highest quality iron, super concentrated, highest quality organic vitamin C. This supercharges your whole body, and it's delicious, great for adults, children, everybody. Sambucus, which is a fancy name for super concentrated elderberry with the vitamin C, super concentrated, and zinc. If something's good for your immune system, it's also good for your health and longevity in your whole body. I'm gobbling these, why my skin glows, why I have so much energy. It's really the missing link that I needed. It's all available at thealexjonesstore.com, and the widest selection. Always adding new ones, almost 500 t-shirts, hoodies, ball caps, sweaters. A lot are limited edition, so they come and they go. But it just gets bit. The comedy section shirts are great. It's all there. Then you spread the word in the third dimension. A win-win for everybody. It's an adventure to wear one of our shirts. Trump gear, Patriot gear, InfoWars gear, comedy. It's all there. You know, joke shirts. Those are my favorite. Limited edition, ball caps. It's all there. TheAlexJonesStore.com. And you spend $30 a month to be a VIP, get special deals, special offers, special sales, and $40 to spend in the store each month. Go now to TheAlexJonesStore.com. Power of the Second American Revolution. And I'm not bragging. It's just that I didn't believe in Santa Claus.
Okay. That's enough for today. Or tonight, I should say. Hope you're having a good night out there.